Well, Gary, it's finished Whitby Town 1, Stockton Town 1. I'm sure on the whole you're pretty happy with how that panned out there.
Yeah, I've just said to the lads as well. In there, I think we showed a lot of bravery tonight. I think we showed a lot of character. We obviously didn't have the ideal start. Being 1-0 down within the first. I don't know what it was. I'm going to say it was pretty early. Within the first 5 minutes or so. So no, after a little tweak of shape after that, I think we really had a good 25-minute to half an hour spell where we really got on top of them and capitalised on the overload we caused with our new shape in that midfield area and caused them some real problems and we're really in the ascendancy. So no, to go in and get that equalised was great for us. And no, the second half was all to play for. And I just said it did end up like a basketball game, and that's exactly how it felt. All the lads are knackered in there. So a really well done to the lads. I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud of the points we've picked up over these last two games, and they can take huge credit in that. And as I've just said in there, I think it's the best performance we've probably had with the ball throughout the season. And as I've said, I think that the lads deserve huge credit for that.
Yeah, and the timing of Stockton's goal identical to Whitby's on Saturday, just 4 minutes on the clock at that point. And after that, it did feel that potentially could have been all night for Whitby, but credit to them for the way that they went about the business and like you said, managed to get themselves on top of the match.
Yeah, definitely. And credit to Jay and Matty Timon who was sub tonight and who was helping Jay. I've always said, when I'm playing like I was tonight, it's really difficult for me to get a good look and a good grasp on the whole game and as a viewing. So no, for where they were stood and for what they were seeing, that they felt that the change of shape was definitely needed, and it proved massively beneficial for us, for the rest of that first half and go forward into the rest of the game. As I said, we got on the ball and we were brave and showed real belief throughout those spells and created numerous chances. They had chances as well, to be fair to them. I'm not going to say they didn't have chances. We defended really well on the day as well. And a lot of people and a lot of neutrals will probably say that a draw was probably a fair result, but you can go back to both sides and look where key chances were missed.
And you changed it up top as well for this match with Jake Charles coming in instead of Matty Timon, and I'm sure it was perfectly the ideal start for him coming back into that one.
Yeah, I just felt, knowing how Stockton would play, they've generally played with a back three, and I didn't expect them to change tonight, which they didn't. I just felt Harrah's running power and Jake Charles's strengths in going the other way and taking players away would benefit us, and we caused them problems, and with that it causes huge spaces for DC to get on the ball and get turned and do what he does best. But we were still able to do that with the change of shape that we ended up having to make. And we had DC on the ball plenty of times where he had some great little mazy runs through there. And as you said, Jake Charles has got his goal tonight, which would be great for him. And going forward, he came off, just to tiredness. It's his first game since playing half an hour or 20 minutes, whatever it was, in the first game of the season at Workington. Really, he's made a sub appearance since then, but that was his first start. So good for Jake going forward, and a good performance from Harrah as well. And no, in an attacking sense, and through that midfield, the rhythm and the fluidity we had tonight was really pleasing to see from back over from where I was standing.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the attacking side of things. The theme of the last three matches after the disastrous bank holiday weekend, you'd probably call it, has been the resilience at the back with that change of shape. And yet again tonight it was tested at times, but a few saves from Shermlin in there, but at the same time, especially that second half late on, really stood up to the task in defensive part of the team. Yeah,
there's a few working bodies in there, including my own. We stood up tonight, and we had to. The Blandy's been there when he needed to be. We've made some great clearances. We've made some great blocks. As I said, it was tough because we were 1-0 down. Within 5 minutes, and it could have went either way. But no, the change of shape meant that me and Guinness were effectively 2v2. But that's the risk we took, and that's what was needed to probably get back in the game. And thankfully we did that. We were really brave, not just with the ball tonight, but without it as well. And the back lads and the midfield, I thought Frankie Whelan, who stepped in to that Makalele role, as I like to call it. I thought he was outstanding tonight, and he was really brave, within himself in getting on the ball and getting us playing. And no, it's another option for us to put Frankie in there. It's one that we've known about, but I think tonight he really showed that he can really do a job in there. On top of the excellent work he does at the back for us.
Yeah, and certainly have plenty of positives going in 3 unbeaten to that FA Cup game at Hyde on Saturday. A team that you know plenty about after the other week, but a bit of a change in circumstance there as well with the manager resigning. So potential banana skin, but I'm sure you'll be confident with the last 3 performances. You can go and get the results. Yeah,
we're really looking forward. I just said we'd have took 4 points off these 2 league games. Definitely, a tough away win at Ilkeston, 3 points, and then you come in here and you're playing a real tough Stockton team tonight. And if you'd have offered me 4 points on the back of before those games, I'd have certainly snapped your hand off. So real confidence, real momentum. That's 3 games now where we've won 2, drew 1. I've just said to them in there, those draws are massively vital in this league, and they can push you up at a couple of places here and there. So. We didn't have enough of those last season. That's probably a game we would have tried to win last season and come out on the losing side. So no, we'll take the positives from it. A tough game at Hyde. Instead, we've got bad memories of there from a couple of weeks ago. But going into that, it was a strange game. We conceded 5, defended really poorly on the day, but created numerous chances ourselves. So we'll go into it on the back of 3 good performances, 2 wins, and as I said, tonight where we've really shown the type of football we can play when we're on it, and we'll be going there full of confidence and hoping to get through to the next round.
All right, Gary.
Thank you.